Good morning, everyone. It is time to kick off the Real Monica Adams show. How you doing this morning? It's a little bit chillier than we had yesterday morning. Still can't complain. If you're in the mood for a little white stuff to fall from the sky, well, maybe tomorrow will be your day. We'll talk about that. I'm not talking about a bunch of accumulation, but at least you might see some depending on where you live. We've got some news you can use, and then I'm excited. 2 days in a row, we've got dogs in the studio. And today, I want you to gather your kids around. I want you to gather your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, your godchildren. They are going to want to see today's show. Now, if they have to go off to school, make sure that you show this to them after they come home, because they're going to see a bulldog on set. Olive the BullDog and the Oh Olive the BullDog children's series of books. These books are really getting a lot of attention all over the world. How Olive is helping children really escape from some fears. Like, think about thunderstorms. Kids and animals alike both get scared by that. Bullies. And we talk a lot about how bullies affect all of us. Well, that's actually coming up in the next series of these books. My dear friend Kelley Lamm Montgomery is coming in today, and we're not only going to talk about that, but also how are things going with the magazine that we talked about with them several months ago, the Clayton City Lifestyle Magazine, as they get ready to wrap up 2024 and go into 2025. What big things are planned for that? And we'll just check in to see how Kelley's been doing since we talked to her last. If you didn't see that show, remember, we always love the fact that all these shows, over 400, are all there for you on whatever streaming platform you want to watch on, whether that be Facebook, YouTube, X. We're on all three for you this morning. All right, let's kick things off with our weather segment. I know a lot of you are wondering, what was I talking about with regards to the snow? Well, there is a possibility of that tomorrow. Again, I'm not talking about a lot of accumulation. We'll get past today, though. You got a mix of sun and clouds, 42 for your high, 29 for the low, and it's going to be breezy tomorrow. So that is the thing, that it may feel a lot colder than that 37 you're seeing. So some of the models are saying that it could come in around 5 o'clock in the morning. Some meteorologists saying all the way into 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you're south of St. Louis, it's not likely. You might see a flurry here or there. But because they're saying that the ground temperature is still warm, not expecting it to really accumulate unless you've got some really high elevated surfaces. And then, of course, maybe on the grass. But some scattered light snow is possible. 37 for the high, 19 for the low. So it's going to be cold tomorrow night. Thursday, 37. Then we get into the weekend, just like last weekend. We start to warm up. Not nearly as warm as what we saw last weekend, but we do have rain coming in. Talking more rain than we are snow in December. 47 on Friday. Saturday, 60% chance of rain and 48. Sunday then, dry, 49. And then look at Monday, 53 with a 30% chance of rain. And then we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be in the 40s. So today is December 10th. So I'm just letting you know, doing the service for you, that you have exactly 2 weeks left to do your Christmas shopping. Can you believe Christmas Eve is exactly 2 weeks away? And Santa will be here before we know it. Santa's actually going to be somewhere today that's kind of cool that you might get a chance to see him. We'll talk about that in just a second. All right, let's get into some news you can use. Again, always following up on stories that we have been talking about over the last couple of weeks. You know, we've been talking about E. coli and listeria in our food, whether you go out to restaurants or you're bringing the food into your home. It's making us all get a little worried. I want to do a deep dive into this, but the latest information has to do with the well over 100 people that have gotten sick here in our area. And now there's a new source that is being listed in this. So let's get to this story. We know we've been telling you that there's one caterer, and again, I'm not going to talk about that caterer today because he's saying it's not fair to name him since the actual source still hasn't been pinpointed. But the latest now has to do with a lawsuit filed by a firm in Houston and the Simon Law Firm here in St. Louis, naming Conchetta's Catering of St. Charles as a second source. They said, we think this all traces back to the national outbreak involving lettuce. And what this shows is St. Louis and St. Charles have become the epicenter. That is according to the law firm in Houston. The plaintiff, by the way, in the lawsuit is a teacher at Central Elementary School in the Francis House School District. This suit is claiming that she got sick after eating a salad that was among the food catered by the business at a parent-teacher conference back in November. She was actually hospitalized for 15 days over 3 separate hospitalizations. Again, we've been telling you this story is not over. Missouri is one of 10 states part of an outbreak being investigated by the CDC and the FDA. So, continuing to warn you, we've got to be very vigilant. Again, wherever we are, but these things are creeping into our food. It's a little scary. So if any of you want me to do a deeper dive into this and do a full-blown story, let us know if you've got a good idea of who a guest would be to come on the show. Another thing we want to do is get you to watch yourself when you're going to a gas station. Now, when I did traffic for a good majority of my career, I would always say, do not leave your car running when you're at a gas station. Well, yet again, this is why. St. Louis Metropolitan Police saying just within the last week or so, they're seeing more and more crimes being committed at gas station and car washes. A crime alert now being issued. According to the police in our city, more than a dozen people were preyed upon at the pump, items stolen from their unlocked vehicles. As victims pump their gas, thieves drive right up on the other side. They are opening your unlocked doors and they're grabbing your valuables and getting out of the way. In fact, the latest happened with a woman that was vacuuming her car at a gas station car wash. So, they are monitoring as much as they can, but you've got to do your own due diligence. And either what I do is I get out of the car, I bring my key fob with me, because that's the other thing. Ladies, it's in your purse. You may say, well, I don't have it right there out in the open. It's in your purse. They're grabbing your purse, and then you're not going to be able to use your car at that point. You're not going to be able to take off. So you've got to do your due diligence. And again, do not leave. I can't say this enough. I know you're cold, but do not leave your car running with the keys in it. Don't warm up the car in your driveway either, because people come and steal the car. Okay, we've been talking about this actually for years now, but now we're talking about only about 4 weeks away from a ban of TikTok. Is that going to happen? January 19th is when it is supposed to happen, but now TikTok is asking federal appeals court to bar the enforcement of the potential ban until a Supreme Court review. They asked this on Monday. The legal filing made after a panel of 3 judges on the same court sided with the government last week and ruled that the law, which requires TikTok's China-based parent company, ByteDance, to divest its stakes in the social media company or face a ban. And if the law is not overturned, both TikTok and that parent company, which is also a plaintiff in the case, have claimed that the popular app will shut down again by January 19th. TikTok has more than 170 million American users who would be affected. So we'll continue to follow that. I think this is pretty cool. Lambert Airport, more and more, we're seeing some really awesome restaurants that are moving in. Whether you are flying Southwest or you are flying the main terminal, now it's Four Hands' turn. Have you been into Kirkwood, by the way, and seen the concept where they teamed up with Peacemaker? Well, that's going to be the same kind of concept. The venue will feature several local craft beers and popular items from Peacemaker. The location, by the way, they're going to hold some hiring events on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I can have Hannah drop in the comments how you can get to those hiring events, and maybe you want to work at Lambert Airport and work again with Four Hands and Peacemaker. We've got some news for those of you that like to go to Taco Bell. How about a milkshake with that taco? Huh? Yeah, it's a new cafe concept, and so it's the San Diego-based, they had one location that the restaurant chain recently opened. Their menu includes milkshakes, coffees, fruity ice drinks, and its trademark Mountain Dew Baja Blast. What do you think about this? Experts say the new beverage chain could help Taco Bell attract younger customers and diversify their audience. McDonald's actually launched a similar concept. We didn't hear about this one either. A year ago, have you heard of Cosmix? It features beverages as well as snacks aimed at younger consumers. I don't know if it's going to make its way into St. Louis, but we'll let you know if it does. Okay, St. Louis leaders, by the way, I want to let you know the latest on this. They are announcing plans for some RAM settlement money. So I just saw this right before we went on. This week, the public will learn how St. Louis leaders plan to spend more than $250 million from a lawsuit settlement over the Rams' departure from St. Louis. This one we've been talking about for so many years in the news. A spokesperson for the mayor's office said a bill will be filed this week outlining the plan. finally. On Wednesday, city leaders are going to announce what's in the bill, but over the weekend, our mayor is suggesting that they would look to prioritize 3 particular areas: improving our infrastructure, including our roads and water mains, making childcare more affordable, and economic development such as affordable housing and boosting small businesses. But wow, it has been a long time coming. So by Wednesday, we should hopefully know more. So my news you can use will definitely include that on Thursday morning. All right, I said 2 weeks of your shopping, but what about getting those gifts out to those that maybe are outside of our area, other states, maybe even other countries? So here's the breakdown for you of what you need to know when it comes to getting your packages out to your loved ones. USPS Ground Advantage service needs to be out by December 18th. Your first class mail, December 18th. Priority Mail, December 19th, and Priority Express Mail Service, December 21st. So if you want more information on anything outside of those dates, maybe, there's other stipulations for Alaska, Hawaii, and outside of other countries, go to the USPS website for all the latest information on shipping deadlines and for international and military shipping deadlines. And I mentioned earlier the big man, the guy in red, Santa Claus. He's going to be riding the rails today, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 5 o'clock. And so till 6 o'clock. And then here's the rundown. It'll be the Civic Center Transit Center, North Hanley Transit Center, and the Metrolink Red Line. Yes, it is until 5 o'clock, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So keep an eye out for Santa as he will be roaming the Metrolink system to greet the customers, taking some photos with you. In fact, even handing out candy canes. So if you get a chance to see him, take some pictures and then flood social media. In sports news, our St. Louis Blues hitting the ice tonight. They will be playing against Vancouver, and they're in Vancouver. It's a late one, 9 p.m. start. And in baseball news, at the winter meetings, they're all talking about Nolan Arenado, and will he be traded? Well, the Cardinals are saying the answer to that is yes, but it most likely won't happen before the meetings are over. But they do say it's inevitable. Our all-star third baseman being traded. I will say right now I've seen some interest by the New York Yankees. And we talked about that yesterday. Did you hear about Juan Soto and that $15 million, $765 million deal, 15-year, $765 million deal? But do you know the Yankees had offered 16 years, $760 million? So there was one more year and a $5 million difference. It's just at that point, how much more money do you need? Really? That's professional sports for you. All right, it's 7:13. Let's have some fun. Let's bring a dog on set. This is Olive the BullDog that will be joining us this morning. In fact, let me show you, and we'll be talking about not only this, the book that's already been out there, Oh Olive, Oh No, A Thunderstorm. And Kelley Lamm has been going around doing some wonderful book reading at area stores. We'll tell you where you can find the book. For the kiddos on your list, you're going to want this one. But we're excited, some breaking news today, to show you the cover of the newest. Well, it has to do with bullies. And let me show you. Not only can you get a book, but you can get a plushie. Oh, so super cute. This is Olive, but we're going to get the real Olive. And hopefully Olive will sit in the blue chair along with Mama Kelley, Kelley Lamm, Montgomery, and Olive. Coming up on The Real Monica Adams Show.
The world needs to be more positive.
Yep.
The world, and I'm spreading positivity with my air fresheners. So,
you and I both,
yes.
Sir.
Sadly, I wasn't aware of the Monica Adams Show until recently, and was I missing out?
I'm definitely going to turn this on in the mornings on our TV.
She's helping people to understand their value. She's helping women to transform their lives.
From the minute that we walked in, I felt just really comfortable and at home here.
You are always a ray of sunshine and positivity.
Thank you for what you do. I love this whole thing that you're doing.
It's good news. It's great news. It's uplifting and empowering.
But you were engaged, and I love that. So thank you so much.
One of our things we always say days, we want everybody to leave with a smile.
Oh, and trust me, they do. I've seen a lot of smiles here today. There's so many levels of why you will love these ladies, but giving back to the community, supporting the community, collaborating with other businesses.
Base pace. Now we give parameters here. Power walkers generally use incline. Yeah, I know.
Go, girls, go!
Because you're not only getting some great local roasted coffee, you're getting good people.
Good people is what it's about. And by the way, that person who turned up their nose, karma is that you know what.
Everyone needs to be kind. And it starts really with the adults. And then it goes down because we're the ones that are instilling this in our children, in our families, and everything thereafter.
We are live on location, and this is a really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know I'm always on the move.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Welcome back. It is the Real Monica Adams Show, and I always want to be real. When you have dogs and kids, it's always been, oh, good luck when they're on set.
Right.
So we've got Olive on set. We're going to show you the real Olive, besides these wonderful plushies that you're seeing. So she may be up and down the blue chair, but one thing is for sure, she wants to know why in the world she has to be up so early.
So do I.
All right, let's get this microphone back near Kelley. This is my friend, Kelley Lamm, Montgomery. Welcome back.
Good morning.
We have her scooter. There we go. I love the real side of all of this. So this is Olive. You're going to get a chance to see Olive throughout the show. She's going to do her thing, and we're going to let her because that's real, Kelley.
Yeah, she'll find her spot.
For those of you that are tuning in, again, I want to welcome Kelley in. She's been on the show before with her husband, Gordon, and maybe you have been following them ever since. I hope so. There are many things that they're doing in our community for good. And the thing that I love after knowing Kelley for many, many years is her passion. Just like myself, we always have these projects we want to be involved in to help our community. But I want to know how this all came about. Obviously, you're adorable. And how could you not want to do something with your dog? But in all honesty, how did the idea for a children's book series happen from all of this?
You know, many years ago, it's kind of funny because I wrote a children's book back in 2009, Coco and the Chocolate Fairy.
Right.
And it all stemmed after a time in my life where I had lost everything. It was a really difficult time. And so it sparked this book, and I had a series, and then life kind of happened and things went on. And I never really thought about it again. And then again, life happened when my mom had passed. And probably, I don't know if it was like 6 months before that, we adopted Olive from a family that could no longer, it was just too much with their little kids and that. And Olive had like 41 ailments. She was stressed because, you know, the kids were, they were kids. Mm-hmm. And so when she came into my life, it was when life happened again, and my mom had gotten sick. And she just literally brings so much joy. If you can you see the heart pattern on her left side?
When I first met her at your house, I was like, she's got a heart on her.
I know, and on her right ear. And so she was terrified of a thunderstorm, but it was hilarious watching her, though, because she would just make these sounds, and then she was scared, but then she went after it. And when we opened the door and literally let her out on the porch, it was like she wanted to know what it was.
She would go to it?
Yes. She was like, I've got to figure out what
instead of hiding in a closet.
Yeah, I got to figure out what it is. I got to go after it. And I don't know, it sparked an idea. And then during that time when things were difficult and hard, you know, I just kind of dove into it. And I literally woke up in the morning and had like words come to me. And then, you know, you just kind of take the time. And from there, when we take her out to, you know, we call them reading potties.
Yes.
When we take her out, the look on people's faces when, you know, they meet her, one lady dropped to her knees, literally started crying. And so we thought something happened. We thought, oh my gosh, what did Olive do? You know, And she started crying. And so finally we started, asking her, are you okay? And she said, you just don't understand. This was a really, really bad day for me. And when I saw this dog, it just literally just emotionally broke her down and brought her so much joy. And she just started crying.
And hugging on her.
Yeah. And
we mentioned yesterday what animals are able to do for us, right? It's just they're incredible creatures. They always say if you spell dog backwards, what does it spell? God and God's angels and what they send. I was actually going to ask you that, Kelley, because I didn't know if, in fact, from loss, did this, obviously animals can help us heal, but did it spark an idea, which obviously it did.
Yes.
So you lost your mom how long ago now?
I can't believe it. It'll be 2 years February.
2 years already?
Yeah. It just doesn't even. It's you're so close to your mom, and she's your person, and it's really you never really. You're sad when people in your life go, but when those think of your husband or your mom or your children. I mean, you just can't even fathom it. They're part of you. So it's just such a final moment, to grasp that. And I don't know if you truly, really ever really do grasp when someone you love so much is gone. You just kind of move on. But
you move through it and you celebrate the time that we had together because you realize that some people never have that connection.
Yeah.
That's what I always had to do when I lost my dad. People always say, oh, it gets easier. It does not. It's coming up on 30 years next year.
Yeah.
And you say, I know you do this because I see some of your posts and I've talked to you about how you talk to your mom, or I talk to my dad, and we get answers. And sometimes the answers come through animals. So what I know that you've said this sometimes in some of the posts, but what do you think if mom was sitting in this chair right now? What do you think she would be saying about what you've done? Because there's so much.
Gosh.
I mean, Kelley's done a lot of things in her life. She's been in media. She's been in radio. She and her husband had a show that they were doing on radio as well as. Are you still doing that? Are you still going around?
Yes. So we'll just go to special events and that in your city.
Yes.
It kind of goes with the magazines, things, and we do our little spot on Channel 2, and we call it the Hot List. You've made the Hot List. It's what's hot in St. Louis.
And she gave me a Hot List journal.
Yeah, she gets your very own
So
journal
sweet.
to write your little special messages in. And so, we still do that. And I think you asked me, you kind of were saying that, but then asked me. But yes, we still are.
I just want you all to know that she's done a lot of things, but when you find your true passion, because I've known you for a long time, but I've never seen you lit up like I see you with this.
Oh, I love it.
Do you agree with that?
Oh my gosh, it's completely different. I wish I could do this 24/7. It's just because it just brings that. I don't know if it's the inner childlike. I don't know if it's the look on the kids' faces. Poor Gordon, of course, he has to keep going out and about to all these reading parties.
I was going to ask you because I always see somebody with the leash. I'm like, it's got to be Gordon.
He's like, poor thing. It's like Saturday. He could have been, watching football all day and, putting his feet up. And instead, we're going to another party. And so we spent, we were at the town hall in Newtown, and then went over to Left Bank Books. We were there by 3:30 on Saturday, and so she got a little nap in between, and she just gets lots of belly rubs and attention. But
yes, she deserves it.
I think it's when I lost everything, I always say and still do that I really don't want to do anything unless it gives back, and so. This gives back in so many ways, whether it's giving a portion of the proceeds to a charity, what it gives back to the children when they see her, or the adults.
Yes.
I mean, when they get a look at her, just like the lady, she's in here, I guess, getting ready for an event over at the View. And she saw Olive, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you can't walk by without me." So she's giving her a belly rub, and it just lightened her day.
She's sleeping right now, but her face just has a big smile, which naturally brings smiles to all that see her, and obviously through the book as well. If you're just tuning in, look at her. Look at the smile. I mean, come on.
So many faces.
If you're just tuning in. Kelley Lamm Montgomery is my guest, and we're talking about the children's book series, and I say series because, again, some of you may have this, but we're going to talk in a little bit about what's coming next, and we just got a sneak peek of the cover of that as well. And you changed the cover of this one around, right?
Yes, because we just had a literary agent that has come in and wants to represent the books, and so we had some ideas for some changes where Olive, you'll see in the book 2 cover, if you have that, that Olive is much larger on the front cover, so that she is the focal point. She is the reason that grabs your attention. And so the new cover grabs that. And then the second cover for the new book that's coming out, the same thing. There's a little more focus on Olive and her face. And she is the joy. She is what brings that smile to children as well as adults.
Look, and then
cute.
so did the plushies come immediately, or did that come after?
Well, they came at the same time. They took much longer because it was kind of an afterthought when I decided that everybody needed to feel possum and have that cuddly little animal. They can't take the real Olive home, so they can have their very own.
Have they tried?
Olive. Yeah, they probably would love to, I'm sure. But it just made sense to. I mean, when the kids, when they come in, it's so cute because when we're at events, people go, "There's Olive," or they'll say, "Oh, Olive, we see her in the bridge," because they have her in the coffee shop, or we'll be at a place like, "Oh my gosh, I bought this book for my niece," and you don't realize that so many people already have Olive in their home,
Yep.
and parents will send pictures of their kids, acting like they have Olive there and reading their book to other dogs, and there's just so. You can't help. It's kind of like owning a donut shop. Does really anybody ever leave unhappy?
No, right?
You have donuts. It's like Olive. It's something that we do.
It brings joy.
Yeah, there's no negativity with it whatsoever. It's completely a positive image. And even if children are afraid of her, because, obviously she is a dog, she is a big dog, that face, sometimes children are a little hesitant. She has literally crawled over to babies before. They realize and know that she's afraid, and she will just take her.
That sense that they have?
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. The
She
sense
could be that
they
support
have.
dog like we talked about yesterday.
She's my support dog, that's for sure.
Look, and then I've been telling you that Kelly's been going around doing these reading parties.
Yes.
So
The best
we
part.
can post for you all the information again in the moderating. Hannah, thanks so much for doing all that, to let you know how to continue to follow and to get to one of these. Before we take the break, so the question I was asking earlier,
Yes.
obviously I know how supportive Gordon is and all of us as your friends and family. What would
Very.
your mom be saying right now?
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. First of all, she'd be crying. She'd have tears coming out of her eyes. She's very much an animal lover. My mom, she loves animals much more than she loves people. So
Don't we all, Kelly?
My mom and dad both would be, they're probably saying, "That's my girl, that's my baby girl." And they would be extremely proud. My mom was my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Gordon's follows second, maybe. But really, honestly, she would just be so happy. And she did get to meet Olive. And
that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, she loved Olive, thought she was precious. And,
Okay.
and so she would just be beyond joy.
Absolutely. Well, again, we'll see if Olive will get back on the blue chair and talk with us to see what Olive
sleeping.
has to say. We're going to take a quick break. If you have any comments or questions, I want to let you know, again, that there are several local stores that you can get the book, but we'll also talk with Kelly about, how she's getting all these new stores. And maybe if you own one, maybe you'd like to have the series there, have her come and do a reading party for you and have the plushies as well. I love to see the growth. And I want you to follow Olive. Olive is on what, TikTok?
Oh, she's on TikTok,
Instagram,
Facebook.
And Facebook? Okay.
Yes.
And which is the one that it's the celebrity?
Oh Olive the BullDog celebrity is on TikTok.
TikTok. And well, I hope, again, we just talked in the news about the possibility of TikTok getting banned, but there's got to be a new U.S. company. I know.
On there.
Exactly. Olive, save TikTok. OHoliveTheBullDog.com. And we're going to talk about how they also are getting, kind of more and more notoriety, and how more people are, not just here locally, but all over the world, getting an opportunity to know all about this children's book series. We'll talk about anything else that's coming besides, obviously, the Thunderstorm aspect. We'll talk about how Bullies became the second, and maybe what else is to come in this series. So again, go online to OHoliveTheBullDog.com and follow Olive on all the socials. She'll follow you back, guaranteed. She'll go like that with her paw. All right, everybody, stay tuned. More with Kelly and Olive when we return. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball. Oh my God.
I know.
Okay,
So it's funny. Sorry.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. We're laughing because Olive just woke up, looked at Kelley like, why? Why
I just
is
wanna
it so
get back in
early?
bed.
What time does she normally wake up?
Oh my gosh.
Would it be now?
9.
Oh,
Well,
not till
okay,
9?
Literally, when she hears the microwave go off, that means her food is warmed up, and she comes around the corner yawning with her little look in her face like, I'm ready to chow. And then she's usually back to sleep. She's got a little itchy now.
If you're just tuning in, again, Oh Olive, and that's Olive
Yeah,
the
she's got a
Bulldog.
little itch.
And the book series, again, we've been talking about going online to OhOliveTheBulldog.com. Follow Olive on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and more importantly, get the book because we're 2 weeks away from Christmas. So everybody's looking at their Christmas list. There we go. Olive is in the blue chair officially.
She has something to say.
She's right in front of the microphone. What do you want to say, Olive? Buy my book.
Yes. Or let me go home and get back in bed. That's
Exactly.
what she'd rather.
So look at that picture. That's awesome. So again, the first in this was Oh Olive, Oh No, a Thunderstorm because of how Olive was acting. And so it just became a natural. So I have one part from this. So let's potty. You want to read that to us? Do a reading party for us?
So join me, Olive the Bulldog, on a possum adventure. Let's chase away the thunder and find the courage within ourselves. Together, we'll learn that even amidst the stormiest times, when the sky may go boom, bam, bump, thump, splish, splash, or even crackle, crack, a dash of bravery can make our hearts shine brighter than ever before.
I love it. Oh, look. Well, you just put her to sleep.
Exactly. See, it's a good bedtime story.
It worked. It is a good bedtime story. So this has been out for how long now?
So September of last year. So it's been a little over a year now that the book is out. And that's the whole thing, too, amidst the stormiest times. And, you know, to encourage bravery within children, because a lot of us have fears, and even adults have fear of thunderstorms and many things that go boom in our life, right? And so we just want kids to know that you're not alone, that you do get scared sometimes, and even Olive does. But
well, I was going to say the overall message that you want kids and adults to walk away with after reading this one would be what?
That together we can all be brave and overcome our fears. We all have fears, and it's okay.
It is. So look at that. What you're seeing on screen is exactly what's happening in the blue chair. She's feeling calm because Mom said it's going to be okay. Hiding under a cover, Tessa, you know, our dog, runs into the closet and is there. In fact, you know, they can sense it long before it's coming. So the wind blows the wrong way and Tessa's already in the closet. And you sit there as a dog parent or an actual parent and you just want to make them say it's going to be okay, right? We've got you. We'll connect with you. So how did it then become, because we've got the cover of the next series in this, how did Bullies become your second part?
You know, they're things that the children, even adults again, have fear of, and they're of other people that may, for some reason, cause anxiety or fear in them. And so with that, I have Oh No, a Big Bad Bully, which is our second book that's going to be coming out in 2025. And the third one is Oh No, Creatures in the Closet.
Creatures in the Closet.
Yeah, so that'll be the third. And then we'll move on from there on. You know, if the children are still falling in love with Olive, we'll continue to keep, writing
Come
from
on,
there.
if they will.
I think we're not having a problem with it, but right. I mean, we have people in Australia. It's really exciting when I see the orders coming from the publishing house where you purchase retail and you see a teacher in New York or someone in Australia or wherever it may be has bought the book, and you're thinking, wow, across the world, Olive is going into people's homes and giving them joy. So it's
I love
cool.
the fact, obviously we always want to be excited about what's happening in our own community and support small business, support wonderful, that's the thing we like to shine the spotlight on, wonderful human beings. But when it just grabs hold and it's able to reach other countries, I just want to give and gush on Kelley for a second. She said, I'm completely honored and beyond excited to be selected as First Time Parent Magazine Autumn 2024 book recommendations for Oh Olive, Oh No, a Thunderstorm. The literary world welcomes 3 delightful new children's books that promise to captivate young readers and encourage imagination, kindness, and healthy habits, from tales of selflessness to fun adventures with furry friends. She's on this list. These books are perfect additions to any child's library. And so what did that mean to you when you were like, whoa, what?
It's right. You get goosebumps. You're like, wow, someone's recognizing our book and believes that, every child should have it on their shelf. It's very rewarding, definitely. Yes.
What was the first local bookstore that started carrying this?
Oh, gosh, let's see. Main Street Bookstore, Hearth and Soul, Mary Tuttle's. They all kind of came around the same time. The Bridge Coffee House. When Imagination Toys brought them into their store and then called to say, Kelley, we need more. And I had to take another, batch into them, and then they're almost sold out. And then, every month when you replenish and you're like, oh my gosh, because when you walk into a store, you're not the only book.
Right.
I might be like at the Porch, which is a decor, Paige Halsey, which has her book. Both of ours are on the shelf together. And that's cool, to be part of that. But when you're in a shop and there is just aisles of books and your book is selling out, that's when it really hits you like, gosh, it's standing out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your message that you believed in is working and connecting with people.
And I think if people have a passion and there's something they want to do, gosh, figure out a way and go after it. I'm figuring out every step as I go. I'll do the second book a little different than I did the first book. I learned so much from it, and I'll have a lot of people who will reach out and ask me questions. Or you hear a lot of people, I have a children's book I've always wanted to get out. It's like, do it, experience it. It just it opens up a whole part of your soul that you didn't know was there before.
Well, and this is the message I always like to ask every time a guest is on. As you all hear your own story in her story, and you sit at home and think, I'm never going to pull the trigger, and then you don't feel fulfilled. How do you get them to leap, Kelley?
Write it down on paper. That's really the first thing, is write down your desire, your wish, your goal, whatever it might be that you're wanting to do. Write it down and look at it. And then, think about, what do I need to do this? Who could be a mentor? You can find someone that can help answer some questions and give you some support and tell you it's going to be okay, or give you an idea along with it, whatever it might be, to spark that inspiration, to keep doing it. And just research. There's so much more at our fingertips than what there was back when I first did my first children's book.
Yes, and you mentioned that earlier. Is that still in print?
It is still in print, yes. But it's not, I didn't take it to the measures that I took this book. Yes, there are different facets, and there weren't the ability in the beginning to be able to make it so easy. There's just so many open avenues with the internet, and so you can research, but make sure you really do your due diligence, because there is a lot of fake stuff out there.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
And it's true, because I've been working on my book for a long, long time, and I had people that would try to take me down different avenues, and I was like, there's no way that this is right. And I reached out to somebody I respected, and they said, no, walk away from that immediately.
Absolutely.
There's snakes in the grass that are trying to pull in. They know, oh, you want it so bad, and you're vulnerable because you're putting this passion out there, and then someone's like, yep, do this, and you got to go through all of this, and you got to spend this much money, and it's like, whoa, 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 right?
Yeah.
So I know you're also very big into supporting local. When it comes to putting a book together, illustration is such a huge part, and
oh my gosh, it's everything.
Right? And finding that person that you connect with. So how did you find your illustrator?
It was completely surreal. It was one of those magical moments. Again, I think sometimes you'll realize that when something, Isabella Brewster, when something's supposed to happen, things really do fall in place. And when you feel like, oh, it's not supposed to happen because something's not working out right or something in the midst of, it really does, because it is so meant to be. And I was meeting with illustrators, and they were sending me examples, and nothing was resonating. It just wasn't fitting. And I do not know. I mean, we'd have stick figures for, pictures if it was with me. I can see it in my head.
Right.
I'm super creative up here. I just don't know how to take it to there.
Well, that's her wheelhouse, and your wheelhouse is telling the story.
And someone sent me an email and said, I have a neighbor who has a niece or something, and she does these paintings of animals when they pass away. And so I'm like, okay. So she gave me her name, and I reached out to her, and I sent her a picture of Olive. And I mean, within less than 24 hours, she sent me some sketches back. And I just, like, how you get that well up in your eyes and you have the goosebumps and the whole bit. I'm like, oh, you're it. This is it. And so we met, I think we met in Kirkwood at Caldy's or something, and she brought some drawings, and we just immediately embraced, and it was just a perfect connection. And so of course we're working together, and continuing, and she loves it as much as I do. And she's a big hit at her school. So she is now, her first job, she's an art teacher at St. Clement in Ladue. And she's
a big hit.
There.
Of course she is.
Oh my gosh!
Olive has made her a celebrity.
Yeah, we brought Olive to school, and I think we had 200 kids in the gymnasium, and read to the kids, and the older kids, got to ask questions, and 'cause even as an older child, it was fun for them because, some of those kids are artistic as well, and seeing that. Wow, maybe I
That's
could,
our future.
Be the artist in a book,
Right.
or something with that. So it was really fun. But she's just adorable. Her name even Isabella. It's just perfect. Yeah,
it is perfect. Okay, and then what about
so
the
I
plushies?
know you asked about the plushies.
Yes.
So I wanted something that could embrace Olive, that they could take home with them. Besides the book, bring Olive to life, so to speak. With their imagination at home. And I found this company through a woman that owns those little miniature ponies. We did a story on them in the magazine. Well, she has replicas of her miniature ponies. I'm like, where did you get, that's how it happens.
Yes.
Where did you do that? You learn from other people. And she said that they had a wonderful relationship with Adorable World. And so they worked with me. That's why it took longer, because it was after the book that then was inspired.
Is it a local company or outside of here? Okay.
It's outside of here. But they worked with me for months to make it, as much as a replica, olive eyes, hearts on her, the right heart on her ear.
Yes.
All the things to resemble and bring Olive to life. So when we first they arrived at the house, it was, again, it's a tearful moment when something that you create comes to life and it's sitting in your hands. And first thing she did was attack it.
I was going to say, that was my next
Now
question.
they're best
How
friends.
many of these does she play with?
She has one, and she has never ever chewed it apart. But
Really?
she first did, when she first got it, and then now
And then
she's
she'd
like,
say, wait a minute, that's me.
I see this everywhere. This is old news to me.
If you all can see, so there's hearts everywhere, right? So it's on the side, on the ear like she has, and then I love the ones on the belly as well.
I think the biggest compliment when you're looking at that is Maxine Clark.
Yeah.
I took it to her because she was a mentor to me many years ago, and I said, I need you to see what I'm doing, and she wouldn't let the plushie go.
Look,
and it was
it's
funny
neat.
because
I'm
it was my first one, so I had to take it back because you can see the tag say manufacturer. It's Oh Olive, so it's literally our puppy. No one else can have this. And she said it is 100, if not 200%. Well made.
It is.
It's perfect. And
well,
she said,
me
I
and
wouldn't-
design, the stitching in it and everything.
She said
and
I wouldn't change a thing.
No.
And by her doing that, and of course when I got them in, of course I took one to her and she loves it. But I just thought that was a big compliment to have Maxine Clark of Build-A-Bear say
right
that.
Right?
She's absolutely perfect.
No, it really is. And that's one of the things that I wanted to tell all of you. So I know you can't feel it, but why do I say you have to go into a store instead of buying online? This is the reason why. So any of us that have been involved in fashion are always going to tell you it's about the material, it's about the stitching, it's about all of their craft, right? All the hard work that goes into putting something together. So as I kept looking at it, I mean, it's deep stitching that's going into this. You can see that the craftsmanship took a long time, and just the feel of it when you say the word plushie, it should be soft and it should bring you that sense of calmness and a connection and be able to let your children do that. Sleep.
A child wouldn't sit in the chair that well with it. It's unbelievable.
I was laughing because I
She's
was like,
something.
if we are quiet. Oh, now she's not doing it.
You
can
hear
hear
her
snoring.
Yeah, she can get pretty loud at times.
Okay, wait. Let me move this up. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. We woke you up. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, Olive, more with Olive and Kelley Lamm Montgomery and the Oh Olive series of books when we return.
Monica show. It's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
So you get a plushie for the kids and a facial for yourself. How's that sound, right? The facial and all that calmness will bring you to that sheer relaxation. And we keep talking about Elemental Aesthetics. It's in Creve Coeur, by the way. They're located on North New Dallas Road, and multiple things. And this is what I really love. So yes, you hear the word aesthetics and you think, oh, okay, facials, maybe some new peels or microdermabrasion, all the different lasers that they're able to do. She was just talking on her social page the other day about this derma pen. She said she's the only one in St. Louis that has it. So if you haven't been to Elemental Aesthetics, Jennifer Warman-Bloss has been an esthetician since 2001. And she prides herself on having the best of the best and many unique things that nobody else in St. Louis has. But outside of that, I love the healing aspect. You know, Kelley and I are talking about how Olive is able to heal the children and adults with these book series, but it's also the aspect of what you might be going through. We just talked about autism, ADD, ADHD. There's a vibration bed there mixed with music that is having remarkable effect on people who have those. That room I sat in before I left to go to Italy because I was getting sick. They pipe in salt, the mineral aspect of helping. And then Jennifer's talking here about the red light therapy, but it also changes. Maybe you want it to be purple or blue. Maybe you want to go get your nails done. Again, multiple levels. IV hydration therapy they have there, and they do weight loss consultation. Elemental Aesthetics. Remember them for you and for others. 314-279-6069. Again, Suite 206, 425 North New Dallas Road. And think about those gift cards. Again, a lot of people on your list. Maybe they would like to go along with you. Make it a nice little girls' day out or maybe a couple's day out. 7:47, this is hilarious. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, yes, that is a dog on set, and Olive's legs are way back like this. That's how comfortable she is. Olive and the Oh Olive books. So the first one, again, is Oh No, a Thunderstorm. And then the next one is about a big bad bully. And then what'd you say the third one is? Creatures in the Closet? So in your mind, do you have an idea of how many you want?
Gosh, I mean, 5 I have in my, in my head, but I guess it's one of those things, hopefully, God willing, I'll get to keep thinking things will come to my, head. Because actually I wanted to have the big bad bully out sooner, but life happened again. And so, your mind really has to be in a certain place. There's a quietness that you need. And again, the words to this, I wish I would have brought it with me, but it's pretty much the grumble, rumble, rough, gruff, that are coming in with the big bad bully, came to me again when I woke up. And so, I had to write it down, and then I'd write a little bit and then write a little bit. And then there was a big stall. Felt like,
writer's block.
My mind couldn't go there, couldn't quiet enough to go there. And, when you're moving fast all the time, and I don't want to try to, thing is sometimes you try to stay too busy to feel, I don't want to be too busy to feel, and then later on,
do you, when the words are coming, do you ever just sit with her? We always talk about the clarity comes when you're able to just be still. So when you're just next to her and, she looks like a cuddle bug, does she open up a creative juice inside of you that all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I've got more?
I think she does all the time.
All the time?
I think she just brings out so much emotion.
Oh, she's snoring again.
Yeah. So much emotion. She doesn't really have to do anything. I mean, but it's funny because when you're around her enough, it was funny because when we first got her, Gordon was a little hesitant because she does have this personality. If you're not used to it, you don't really understand it. Like when she plays tug of war, she sounds she's going to eat you. And that's just her sound. So when you begin to learn, I mean, he's so she's wrapped around both of us.
I saw it when I came over.
Gosh.
She also does some really good zoomies running around her house, like a lot of dogs.
She has her crazy moments. They don't last long and she wears out. But yeah, we're in love with her. So she does. She just inspires. She truly inspires me and everyone that's around her. And I think that if it comes naturally and the ideas keep coming, then yes, I'll, keep writing. But, anything, it takes an investment when you start something, and you hope people will want it because you don't want to have a basement full of books.
Right. Well, fortunately, you're selling, again, if you just tuned in, they're selling out at stores all over. How many local stores you have now?
Gosh, what do we have? Maybe 10.
10?
I mean, it doesn't sound, but that's
a
lot
that's
of
a
that.
big deal.
I really need to be out there
Yes.
and walking in, and that's finding the time because, of course, we have to run our business. So this is a passion project,
Yes.
and I have to find those moments to be able to continue to keep doing it. And so as long as people continue to want it and I keep getting inspired to continue to think of more words that will elevate and inspire a child, then I will continue to keep doing it.
Do you write all by yourself? Does Gordon help at all? Is there
Everybody wants to help. It's funny, they'll go, oh, this would be your next book, or oh, you should have this dog, or if someone will send me a picture, maybe you want my dog in your book. So everyone wants to help.
It needs to be Olive and Friends.
But I do, though. When I write, I'll ask, I'll call my daughter. She was very inspirational in some words in the second book. And our copy editor and Gordon, he'll, poor thing, has had to listen to this story so many times. And he should know it by heart. He should probably be dreaming about it, having to listen to it.
Oh,
But
he probably does.
But I will ask, what do you think? Or, do you have an idea with that? And, of course, that always helps.
Oh, absolutely. We had just had a meeting actually with my team yesterday, and it's never, ever let something out there without somebody else hearing it out loud and then reading it and helping maybe switch this around. Oh, and then as a team, open your mind to, yeah, that does sound a little bit better. Marilyn said, I love Maxine. She was the only woman VP back in the day at Venture. She showed them all as she is the biggest success story of all of them.
She's incredible.
Yes, she is absolutely incredible in what she's done
And she's
for
teeny
us.
and mighty.
We're talking about angels, right? Marilyn said they will show up when you need them. I do believe. Yes. And we have angels in dogs so much. Michelle earlier said the show has gone to the dogs. I'm sensing a theme. I purposely did that. Yes, I wanted to have a lot of animals. Good morning, Kelley and Monica. This would be cool to have for Christmas presents in our little shop. Awesome. I was just going to ask. So I need to introduce you to Tiffany Winkler, who owns Circle 6. If you haven't been down there yet in Defiance, the watering hole where we celebrated our 400th show.
Oh,
You will fall in
definitely need to
love
check
with
it out.
Larry and Tiffany. So I will connect you
That'd be
because
great.
they have a wonderful market along with the restaurant. And so there we go.
perfect.
Here we go. Let's get more Olive plushies and books out there. Kathy says, what a beautiful story. I love your Olive story. I would love to order some of your books and have them sign and give them as gifts.
And
How
I'll
can
do
I
that.
contact you? Yeah, so that was the next part I wanted to get into. So you do sign for
Yes,
them.
so if they go to, and most of the stores too, like LB's out in Wentzville, and they'll ask me to sign them so they're left. But if you want them personalized and signed and from me, they can go to Oh Olive. So OH for Oh Olive, OHoliveTheBullDog.com, and it'll say shop now, and you can order right there at the website.
Okay.
And then it'll give a space in there on what
To
you'd
say you
like
wanna
it.
have-
Yes, I usually write you are possum, and then Olive's paw print is also put on there as well.
Oh.
And then you can let me know who to sign that to, and we'll absolutely make that happen. And then
Fantastic.
mail it
So
out.
there's the bundle. I
And
was going
right
to ask you
now
if you
for
did a
Christmas,
bundle.
there's free shipping. So normally you have to pay for shipping. So right now, for the Christmas time, we took the shipping off to help.
And I just talked about in the very beginning in our news you can use when you need to get those packages in the mail to get them in time for Christmas. But if it gets a little bit after, so what? It's just the fact that
It
they're
should
still
make it.
getting it.
Usually 2 to 3 days it seems to be taken, unless it's out of the country.
Yes.
They've been doing really well on
But
getting
you're
it. 'Cause
reaching
you never know with the
Australia.
United States Post Office,
No,
but
it's true. Again, Oh Olive, the very first is Oh No, a Thunderstorm, and that's out right now. So when is the Big Bad Bully due out?
Spring is my hope that happens. We're working on the illustrations now and finishing those up. Everything else is done. There's a few little tweaks to the story that we're making that the literary agent had kind of, you send it and they're like, we think we'd like to know a little bit because it's Tully is the big bad bully. But you're going to find out that there's really a very heartfelt reason that Olive was scared of Tully and what she learned from that, because what you'll learn in this book is that we are all different, and sometimes some children maybe with special needs or might scare another child, and we want everyone to learn that even though we're different doesn't mean that we're not truly a loving soul and that we
Absolutely.
can't be friends. So
Beautiful message.
There's a big
Thank you,
message
Zach,
with
for
this
showing
one.
her again. She just opened an eye. Like, yes. Is Tully a real dog?
Tully is a dog, yes. Tully is a dog. And Louie, who is our little chocolate poodle, gets a debut in this book. So Louie will be in there. Everybody's like, poor Louie. Louie, he never gets put into the picture.
Marilyn shared, love supporting so many needs we have in our world. Her dog is Heidi. Heidi just loves belly rubs. She's my saving grace as she arrived 8 days before I lost the love of my life. Thank you, Kelley. And Tessa Greenspan, who we also absolutely love, said Kelley is amazing. You know that.
Tessa.
Monica, your fur babies and Olive need to have some play dates. I know we've talked about that before. Yes, Adelaide needs to show up in the book.
That was see, you probably have a great idea.
No, actually, this is what's funny, and I love when I saw that she came out with this. I looked at Jim and I said, "See, I really need to do this." I have forever thought, and this is before Opus came into play, I would laugh so hard at Tessa and Adelaide together and their relationship, and I was like, we need to do the adventures of Tessa and Adelaide.
Aww.
And so the other day, well, we're trying to get this out to you. I'm going to start a new segment called The Barking Baker, and it is hilarious about what happened with me and the dogs, and we were making treats with something that my mom and I bought about a year and a half ago that I had never used, and it was this Express treat maker. And we went through and did carrot and
show me
apple.
that,
I will.
because I make her treats. I make her food too.
Well, okay.
She's better than my husband.
It didn't come out looking like a dog treat. It came out looking like a chicken drumstick.
So maybe I need to check into
They
another
loved
one.
it, though. No. But I think it was just me. I think it was operator error. I think I put too much in, and I was like, "That look." But the dogs were like, "Give me that!" Right?
Yeah, they don't care what it
loved
looks like.
We have
And
one
chicken
more
looks
left.
good to them.
I now have started saying, "Do you want Mama treat or store treat?" And they look at me like, "Mama treat." I was like, "See, you like it." So we're gonna do some baking together of Christmas cookies. So it's gonna be a
that'd
thing.
be fun.
Yes. So we'll get the dogs together. All right. One more time. I want you to get this for yourself, for your kids, your grandkids, godchildren, nieces, nephews, whoever, neighborhood children. They're going to love it. OHoliveTheBullDog.com is the website. Be sure to follow Olive on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. She'll bring joy to your life. She'll follow you back as well. And then you can also find out where these awesome potties are. And just, again, how it's going to continue to evolve. So spring, be looking for The Big Bad Bully. You'll know more about it if you follow Olive when that's coming out. And then The Creatures in the Closet, would that be 26?
Probably the following year.
And it's
One
just
at a
going to keep
time.
going. Absolutely. And again, they've got a lot of
have a
other
day
things
job.
they do. Right. So the other part is, how are things going with the magazine as we wrap up 2024? What do you hope for 2025?
Actually, we just want to continue sharing the message. I mean, that's what we're about, is bringing life to community and businesses and bringing them together to collaborate. So, of course, our advertisers are the wonderful businesses that are inside those pages that allow us to write all these incredible stories. You were on our cover, was it last January, a year ago, was
January
it?
23, yeah.
Before you were finding your...
oh my goodness, almost 2 years
however
ago.
long before you started your show there. So, that's what we do. We write about the community, things that are going on in our cities, and we just absolutely enjoy it. It's very inspiring. It's wonderful when someone says, "Wow, someone came in because they saw us in here."
Yes. So right now, again, Clayton City Lifestyle, as well as Chesterfield, St. Charles County. They can also get digital copies,
Yes,
right?
so every month we mail out to over 45,000 homes. And then, of course, we're digitally at citylifestyle.com. So you can see any of the magazines. It's a national publication, so there's over 200 across the United States, and we own 3 local magazines here. So
Fantastic.
everything in there from the front to the back is local. That's Imagination Toys on the cover right there. And then, of course, that's The Porch, Jan Kaufman, the owner.
Oh,
and
The Porch is awesome.
Juiced Wheels is on St. Charles, which... If you have never ridden an e-bike,
I haven't. How fast do they go?
Oh my gosh,
They scare me.
30. No, I'm telling you, you couldn't wipe the smile off my face. Gordon and I rode our real bikes, 2 Juiced Wheels, rented a bike for the day, and I've never been on a real bike. A regular bike again.
I
Never.
just laugh though, because I'm like, isn't biking supposed to be exercise? That's not
is.
exercise.
No, it truly is, because it assists you, but
Okay.
you're moving a little
Oh, okay.
faster. But I'm telling you what, if your battery goes out, you have a bike ride of...
Because it's heavier, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's much heavier, but you can do it. But it is so much
Did your battery
fun.
go out? It sounds like you had
Gordon's
an experience.
did like 1 block from the house.
I
We
thought
went
so.
really far. We've got a trailer now, but he pedaled home, and you can still pedal home. It's not, but you'll really get your exercise then. But
Okay, because I
there's
look at those and just think like they're not
No.
exercising.
It's so much fun. It's
Interesting.
really a fun way to ride bikes.
Okay, then maybe we need to do it. All of our Monica's Maniacs that you
Yeah,
call yourself.
that
Maybe we
hill
need
is no problem ahead of you.
Yeah, our driveway. Try to get up that thing.
You will, yeah.
Oh, Adelaide, next book, but not a pic of her at Yuppie Puppy. That was Tessa. If you're talking about Tessa getting upset, the dude says good morning. The dude would love Olive. Yes, we all do, right? Kelley, thank you.
Thank you.
And look at this plushie's going to stay on set because I kept playing with it. And we want you to have a plushie. We want you to either go to a local store and pick them up. Again, you can find all of the locations on the website.
You know what? That's funny that you say that.
No?
I don't know if we'll have to see if we have that
Put
all
it on
updated.
there.
I know Facebook, we have on the Facebook page everywhere that they're at. I will make sure to have that updated right away because as I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're there. Barnes and Nobles, of course.
You
know,
have a place actually
Walmart.
that I had never heard of, and I'm like, where is that? That looks adorable. What's the place in Wentzville?
LB's.
LB's.
Oh, what a precious store. It's like it's perfect. It's like going back in time.
That's what it looked
They have
like.
an ice cream shop, soda shop, and then little individual little houses that are outside that have all their different themes on the inside of what they're selling. Oh my gosh, it's a precious
What a cute
store.
place to go to. I
Yeah.
mean, again, everybody's doing their shopping right now and just enjoying. Please support small business. It is so very important. Kelley, I love it. I'm so proud of you. I couldn't wait to have you come back in again.
I really appreciate it. It's
and
fun.
so keep in touch because people always like to know what's happening with our guests. So when the Big Bad Bully one's coming out,
We
be
will
sure to
let
let
you
us
know,
know right
yeah.
away. Olive.
We had a pawsome time.
Olive.
Yeah, she's...
Go night-night. Oh, Mom.
You said you thought she was going to kind of, maybe need to go for a walk. I'm like, she'll probably just fall asleep.
You've been such a good girl. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for inspiring us all. I love you. Night-night. All right, everybody, stay tuned. I got something really cool to tell you about. I did actually post it on our social, so be sure to always follow The Real Monica Adams on all of our platforms, which just keep growing and growing. Tomorrow, we'll be on not only Facebook, YouTube, and X, but also Instagram, YouTube, and now LinkedIn, and then maybe TikTok. I'm not starting there yet because it might go away.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We have something exciting, though, coming up in just over 2 weeks where we want you to join us. You're always asking, where's the next Mobile Monica? This one's going to be fun. It's coming up next. All right, we're talking about wrapping up with a devotional, and she picked one, and I was like, well, that's overeating, which is what a lot of people feel happens this time of year. We'll do the fear and anxiety, but let me talk about the excitement first. December 28th. So I actually ran into the owner of Sugar Creek Winery when I was at the Defiance Christmas parade this past weekend. She said she can't wait for us to come out. So it's going to be an all-day. We're going to have a blast. From noon to 6 is the party. They're actually going to be opening up their new enclosed patio, which if you follow them, Judgment Tree Distillery and Sugar Creek Winery, it's stunning. I mean, I cannot wait to see this in person, which we'll see it tomorrow. We're going to go out there and do some stuff tomorrow before the big day. But this is coming up December 28th, noon to 6. There's going to be music, of course, really good food. You'll get a chance to be at the winery, but also see the distillery. We're talking vodka and whiskey. They also have gin and rum. So yes, for those of you that say, well, I'm not really a wine drinker, this is why you'll love this. Have you been to Sugar Creek Winery in a while? If not, you definitely have to go again because it's changed. The property has changed so much. Again, this is December 28th. Our live broadcast will be from 1:30 to 3, but we'll be there a little bit before setting up. Love to see you beforehand. We'll be staying with you after and celebrating. It's going to be a blast. So getting a chance to celebrate with you for the holidays, right as we wrap up Christmas and get ready to go into the new year. So that's one. And then January 9th, we're going to be doing our live show from 7 to 8 a.m. at the Hardee's on 44 for the Rise and Shine. It's actually a preview of the big Rise and Shine with Heat Up St. Louis. So I'm super excited about that as well. Do you want a Mobile Monica at your fundraiser, festival, event, your business, reach out to me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. I actually took it beyond Black Friday, 25% off. This is huge. I will not run this again for an entire year. 25% off of mobile Monicas and sponsorships throughout the rest of December and into January. So there's no better time than now. Okay, so 100 Days of Freedom books. Again, I know Michelle keeps tagging to try to get Stephen Arterburn on the show. Stephen, come on the show. We do these readings all the time. I'd love to have you maybe read one of them for us. This is, by the way, Kelley, the one that almost everybody picks. I don't know if it's because it's purple or if it really is that a lot of people feel fear and anxiety, which really ties into the thunderstorms and the bullies, right? Olive chose this. She's like, yes, read to me, Monica. Actually, let's do this. Zach, I'm going to call an editorial executive producer thing here. Can you take the full shot as we have Olive listen to me do a reading party? There we go. Self-awareness, Olive. See how very much our Father loves us, for he calls us his children, and that is what we are. But the people who belong to this world don't recognize that we are God's children because they don't know him, and that is God. Dog, spelled backwards, God, right? Do you know who you are? You might wonder what this question has to do with anxiety or fear. Well, our identities are core to the way we experience the world around us. When we're unsure of who we are and who loves us, we feel disconnected, which creates anxiety and fear. Our upbringing, self-defeating thoughts, trauma, all have an impact on our identity. We may be living with a distorted sense of who we really are. Being unsure of what others think of us or unsure of our environment can sometimes cause us to be reactive. Self-awareness, knowing who you are and your value, can provide a sense of security and serenity. Recognizing that our Heavenly Father calls us his very own children is a great foundation for our identity. God loves you, and that truth can change the very way that you experience life. If you're not sure that you're valuable to God, if you aren't confident of how very much he loves you, decide to take this truth to heart. Experience the joy that comes when you know beyond any doubt that God calls you his child. Shame will be replaced by love. You will experience peace and joy as you become aware of whose you are. And Beth Moore says we're going to have to let truth scream louder to our souls than the lies that have infected us. Oh, I love that one. The greatest honor we can give Almighty God is to live gladly because of the knowledge of his love. And Sammy Tippett says there's no place too dark for God's light to penetrate and no heart too difficult to be set aflame by his love. Beautiful. Hope it made you feel a little bit calmer. Today's prayer: thank you, Lord, for loving me. Help me to know this truth to my core and to live in your love each minute. Amen to that.
She said amen.
Amen, Olive. Thank you to Olive. Thank you to Kelley. Thank you to all of you. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, share, share, share. Take all of these, whatever show really resonates with you, share them onto your own social pages so we can do what? Spread positivity, inspiration, joy, light. That's what the world is all about and it's what the world needs more of. Right now, we always end the show saying this one thing. Believe in yourself, right? Kelley has done a lot of things in career, but this passion project that she has, she doesn't want it to end. And you can do a big part in buying the books, buying the plushies, supporting Olive and Kelley and what they're doing. And for the same thing, though, believe in yourself. And as Kelley said earlier, pull that trigger. If you feel something that's just festering inside and you're like, I need something to calm me, find what your passion is. Sit with it. Find the clarity. Calm your mind. And watch what happens. So be anything that you want to be in the world. But before you're anything, Olive, be kind. God bless you all.